Calvin was born on Valentine's Day in 2013, and right away he had a lot of complications. His esophagus wasn't connected to his stomach, so he had to have surgery just hours after he was born. At 4 months old, we brought him home from the hospital where he had to be readmitted due to the medical element. So he had a really, really rough start. And without Cincinnati Children's and Children's Miracle Network, he wouldn't be anywhere close to where he is now. He's about 6 months old. We took him to the doctor and the geneticist said he's not going to walk. He's not going to talk. He's not going to be like a typical kid. And he has surpassed everything that they said that he wouldn't do. He doesn't speak any signs, and he does it really, really well. So thank you guys so much for everything that you do, and everything that you've done for the Children's Miracle Network and for Cincinnati Children's.
Hello, as I said, my name is Megan. This is Cole. He is 9 years old and in 3rd grade at Batavia Elementary. Cole was born in July 2009. He was born basically fighting for his life from the start. Spent 9 days in the NICU due to a rare blood infection. We made our first trip to Children's Hospital when he was 7 days old. That was a quick trip. We were just there a day to receive a PICC line so he could come home where we administrated the antibiotics there. When Cole turned 3 years old, we learned that he was diagnosed with a genetic disorder called Stickler syndrome. It basically affects connective tissues in his body. So eyesight, his facial features, his nose, cleft palate. He's had 2 major cleft palate surgeries. His joints, I'm going to show him your elbows. That's a good trick for you. He's done, I think we counted yesterday, 19 procedures and surgeries. He follows 13 different doctors at the hospital, so we are there very often. Some of his favorite things, though, is math. He's very good at math. You want to tell us your favorite things? What's my other favorite thing?
Beyblades.
Beyblades.
Math. And math.
He also has been a Bearcat fan since he was born. He attended his first Bearcat football game at 2 months old, so we've been going. Despite all of those, trials, tribulations, things he's gone through, he is a smart, happy, fun, loving little boy. And we are so grateful and thankful for you guys and everybody else who supports Cincinnati Children's. Like I said, we spend a lot of time there, so we are very thankful for you guys to hear and any other donations and things people do for the hospital. We are very lucky to have that hospital in our backyard, and I think ourselves and some of the other Chickens families that you and me feel the same way. And this is awesome that you guys do this, and then Nicole has one more thing to say.
Thank you for raising money for Children's Hospital.
But my story began on August the 12th of 1991 at approximately 5:30 in the morning. My wife came to me, and we were both, well, she was getting ready to go to work, and she said that she was in the bathroom, came out, she said, "I believe my water is broken." And she said, "We got to get to the hospital." And I said, "Okay." I'll wake you up quickly at 5:30 in the morning. And how many of you are from Cincinnati area? Okay, how many of you are familiar with the Hamilton, Ohio area? Anybody? Okay. So if I tell you Fort Hamilton Hughes Hospital on the north end of Hamilton, you know where that is? Raise your hand. Okay. I live in Westchester, Ohio at the time, and I still live in Westchester. But Fort Hamilton Hughes is about well, before they put in 129 out there, it was about a 45-minute drive. So at about 5:30 in the morning, my wife said, my water's broken and that type of thing. We began to check how, what her labor was, and we started on the bedside clock, and she was 3 minutes apart, and we were 45 minutes from the hospital. We called the doctor on call, and he said he would meet us at the hospital. Said that's fine. At the time, we had a daughter, and she was small. We dropped her off at the sitters around the corner from us. And with that, dropping her off around the corner, we got back in the car, and then we were probably a block from where we dropped her off. My wife went into, she had a, what I'll call contraction. So then we began to test it, or tie it on the car clock. And at that point, we were 2 minutes apart, and we had only been gone a block from where we lived. So, and I don't know how familiar you are, those are from the Hamilton area, you would know Tylersville Road. It's a very windy road and very twisty back then. I was doing probably 70 miles an hour going across Tylersville Road to get to Fort Hamilton Views, which is on the north end of town. That's where she had to live. So at approximately, I'd say 6:45 in the morning, I got her there to the hospital. And with getting her there at the hospital, I actually pulled right up onto the sidewalk in front of the emergency room. I didn't even park the car, I just drove right up onto the sidewalk, and literally the doors opened up and my car was right there. So my wife got out of the car, and I remember her pointing, here, I'll just walk, she said, I'll just walk over here and sit in a chair. And the nurse there, she said, ma'am, you don't have time. She threw her in a chair, or in a wheelchair, and wheeled her up to labor and delivery. So I had her there at about 6:45, and she was in the room, and the nurse, just so happened that we were still waiting on the doctor that was on call. Just so happened that her regular OBGYN doctor just happened to be walking down the hall, and he was probably from here to the column back there, walking down the hall, and the one nurse said, doctor, you better get in here because your patient's in here. He came into the room, and he wasn't in there about 2 minutes. And he came out and he said, as he was hopping down the hall, putting on his rings, he said, son, you may not make this delivery. So I did not know what that meant because I didn't know what was going on at the time. So they wheeled her down the hall, and I could hear her screaming down the hall. It was too late to get to her. With that, at about 7:15, again, we arrived at 7:15, and 7:15, we had babies. We had a little girl. She was 5 weeks early. Either my wife did the delivery, and I was in a room down the hall, so I really wasn't in on the delivery. But they wheeled Kelly by, Kelly was her name. They wheeled Kelly by me and said, here's your daughter, she's having some breathing issues, we gotta get her down to the intensive care unit here at the hospital. I said, okay, and they wheeled her on down and passed. So they brought my wife back to the room, and we were in the room, and about 30 minutes later, a nurse came in and said, do you guys have any history of brittle bone disease in your family? I said, no. They said, okay, they left. About another 15 minutes later came by, another nurse came by and said, do you have any history of, you sure you don't have any history of brittle bone? No. So finally the doctor came in. And by that time I said, okay, what the heck is going on here? I wasn't that polite when I said it. What the heck is going on? So they said, well, we've already called Children's Hospital, and they're setting up a special ambulance unit for Kelly. They are better able to treat her condition than we are here. The problem is they said she has a very rare, we think a very rare genetic disorder, but we're not sure what it is, and they can treat her down there. So we basically got to see Kelly. They brought her back to the room, and the only thing we could see on Kelly was from her neck up, because they had her completely covered in a blanket or a warmer. And they had her in an incubator, a transport incubator. So I told my wife, I said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll follow the baby on down to Children's and call the ambulance down, and I said, if there's a problem, I will call you. If you don't hear from me, everything will be fine. She said, okay. So the ambulance started down I-75 from Fort Hamilton Views to Children's Hospital down here in Cincinnati. And the ambulance was doing close to 80 miles an hour. I couldn't keep up with it. And so I finally met up with the ambulance in the emergency room in the neonatal unit. And I talked to the doctor there and the nurses, and they said, give us about 20, 30 minutes to get Kelly settled, and then we'll have you come in and see her. I said, okay. So again, I had not seen her except for the top of her head. When they get her and it's a lot different now, those of you that are, anybody that's a nursing student out here that does anything at Children's Hospital? Are you a nurse? Nobody? Okay. Well, they have their neonatal unit is a lot different now than what it used to be. It used to be just an open bullpen area like this one here. And they had one bed right after another. So as soon as I got into that area, I saw that we were in trouble. I saw Kelly. She was laying on a bed, on a warm, shall we say. And with that, this leg here was at a 90-degree angle, and her toe was pointed right here. And the leg, I don't have a picture of her, I used to carry a picture with me, but her leg was I'd say it was as purple or darker than my pants. This leg on this side. This wrist was laid back on like this, laid back on the side, and it was purple. And she had a purple haze right here on the top of her head. Her overall dimension was only 15 inches. Now, most of you, when you were born, you were probably between 21 and 24 inches in length. She was 15 from head to toe. So with that, she actually, the doctor, after we had talked to the doctor, after all this was over, the doctor actually thought we had got it for her because they weren't sure. But with that, we had her checked out, and so I'm in the neonatal intensive care unit, and the doctor said, well, I'm going to have you meet with the genealogist. And I said, okay, don't know what that means or why. And he said, I want to show you something. So he pulled up her x-ray, and when he pulled up her x-ray, he pulled out a pen. And he went down the x-ray and goes, here's a broken bone, here's a broken bone, here's a broken bone. And it was just in this leg. The one that was at the ankle. He said, she has so many broken bones in it, I can't count them all. I said, well, why don't we straighten this leg out? He said, she's comfortable that way, just let her be. And I said, why are you not putting the diaper on her? Because all they did was they just slipped the diaper up underneath her and just laid the diaper over the front of her. They said if we put the diaper on her, even though it was just the elastic strips that they have on diapers, he said we could bring additional bones in her hips. He said she has a disorder called osteogenesis imperfecta. There are 4 types. We're not sure which one she has. He said Children's Hospital has never seen one this severe. He said, in fact, I've got to go back to my medical books to figure out which one she has. I said, well, what is the difference between the two? He said, it is brittle bone disease in infants, basically what osteogenesis means. And at the time, I didn't even know what it was. I couldn't even pronounce this disorder. He said there are 4 types, and that if you have 1, 3, or 4, it is commonly misdiagnosed as child abuse in hospitals and in doctor's offices. Because a child can basically fall, or if you were to grab a child's arm, or they would fall on a playground, they would break a bone right away. They're that fragile. With that being said, he said, I've got a genealogist I want you to meet with. And I said, okay, that's fine. And I also had a friend of mine that worked in orthopedics over at the Old Providence Hospital over on Colby Avenue at the time. And I called him and I said, Jim, I need some help. I said, Kelly's down here, I need an orthopedic doctor to straighten this leg out. We got to figure out what we got to do to get this leg straightened out. And he said, well, I work on adults, I don't really work on children, but let me see what I can do. So he made a phone call to a lady that I knew that worked at Children's Hospital. She was a nurse. And he said, get down to your neonatal unit because Bob's in trouble, the daughter in trouble, and see what you can do. So I met with the genealogist at about, I'd say 10 o'clock in the morning. He sat down with me, the head of the neonatal unit. I still remember both the doctor's names from the first and third shift, Dr. McMahon and Dr. Thorne. Dr. McMahon sat down with me and they said, they asked me 10 million questions. Is your wife your sister, your cousin, all this type of stuff. And basically the doctor came to me and he said, I confirmed that your daughter has osteogenesis imperfecta type 2. He said, one of the things with this disease, he said, is if she makes it through the night, she'll be lucky. Number one. Number two, the children that have this never leave this hospital. And so she will have to remain in this hospital for the rest of her life. And I said, gentlemen, so what you're telling me is, I said, my daughter may never live to see her first birthday. He said, that is correct. And I said, all right. And I said, well, my wife is at Fort Hamilton Youth Hospital, 45 to an hour from here. How do you suggest I tell her this news? I said, because number one, I don't know anything about this disorder that she asked me. Number two, I can't hardly pronounce it. How do you suggest I tell her this? And they said, we can call her on the phone. And I said, would you want to call your wife with this information over a telephone? They said, no, I guess not. So I said, all right. I said, so, gentlemen, I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to drive up there and tell her what Kelly had. And I don't remember driving from Children's Hospital down here back to Hamilton. I don't even remember making the drive. I got in the car, I got in the parking lot. I don't know how I even got out of the parking lot. I called from Children's Hospital lobby, and I told her, I said, I'm coming up to see you. But if you remember, I told her I won't call you unless there's a call. But I didn't tell her what I was coming to talk to her about. I just said, I'm coming up to see you. She said, okay, fine. I called Fort Hamilton and I asked her pediatrician to meet me in her room. Couldn't find her. So I said, okay. So I made this drive on up there. I remember walking up to the front counter at the hospital, and I said, I need a chaplain. They said, which one? We have two. I said, I'll have to give me one. Couldn't find either one of those. So I walked into my wife's room, and at the time my father was in the room, sitting there in a chair. And my mother was down in Florida on a business trip flying. She was on her way back because I called and said we had a baby that morning. My in-laws were coming down from Cleveland, and they were en route from Mason, Ohio. And so my father said, well, I'm going to leave you two. And I turned to him and I said, sit your ass right there, Bill. And so he goes, okay. So I went over, sat down on the end of the bed, and I looked at her and I said, honey, Kelly has a genetic disorder. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but our baby's going to die, and we made the decision. At that point in time, I stayed with her the rest of the afternoon. At approximately 5 o'clock that evening, I got a call here from Children's Hospital to say that Kelly had went into respiratory failure twice, and they had brought her back, and they said, what would you like us to do? And I said, well, I'll come back and round to Children's Hospital. I said, if all else, please keep the baby alive until her grandparents and her mother, my wife, can actually see the baby because she has never seen her. They said, okay, we'll do what we can. I said, now if she goes into respiratory failure again, just let her go. They said, okay. I said, I'm back in route. So I returned back down here to Children's Hospital, and my father returned with me. I can still remember walking into the neonatal unit, and they said she is stabilized, but she is struggling. I said, okay. So I stayed with her the rest of the night, and approximately 6:30 the following morning, approximately 6:30 the following morning, her head began to swell. And with that, with her head beginning to swell, I knew what decision we had to make. My wife was still at Fort Hamilton Youth Hospital, and I had to get her from Fort down there to children, which I did. And at approximately 11 o'clock that morning, she finally got to see the baby. And with that, when she got to see the baby, they said, you will place her in your arms. You can't touch her, you can't move her, you can't, play with her hand or anything like that. You just place her in your arms. And then we will take her from you. And so at approximately noon, we decided to let Kelly go. And so at noon, while we were in another room, the head of the neonatal unit, one of the nurses of the neonatal unit, while rocking Kelly, she passed away at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we went from a birth to a funeral all within the same week. what I wanted to mention to you here is that, yes, they were not able to help Kelly, but what you're dancing for here today helps people like this young lady right here, and you will know why down the road. But what you're dancing for helps those kids over to the hospital, helps the families get through their situation. Each situation is different. Yes, they were not able to do anything for Kelly, but they're able to do things for this young lady right here. She'll tell you her story, your mom will tell you her story. But as I said, they weren't able to help her, but they are able to help other kids over there. And as far as part of the Champions program, I volunteer at Children's Hospital out on Liberty campus every Friday. They let me work in the emergency room. They haven't let me do any stitching or setting any bones. They keep saying something about a medical degree. I don't know what that means. But at any rate, I do volunteer out here helping the kids, getting their toys, cleaning toys, getting food for families and that type of thing. So I do, that's my way of paying back. For the last 20-some odd years, my wife has made little hats and booties for the neonatal and continues to do that. And I can't tell you the number of shoeboxes I've taken them with hats and booties down to Children's Hospital when we donate those to Children's Hospital. So that's our way of giving back. But we've been a part of the Champions program for over 20-some odd years. And, but it's through work that you guys are doing here today and the monies that you're raising that go towards the families, go towards these kids to help them in Children's Hospital.